In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests lived an old carpenter named Raghav. For decades, his name echoed far and wide. Every door, every piece of furniture, every wooden bridge in the village bore silent testimony to his skill. While people marveled at his craft, they also noticed how the years etched themselves onto him, how his back tired. His shoulders slumped and his hands trembled ever so slightly. "Raghav," he began, and the carpenter looked up from his work, his tools frozen in midair. Raghav, his chest swelling with pride, accepted the task without hesitation. He had built bridges before. This one would simply be his most important. "We need your help. The monsoon rains are coming, and the bridge across the river has seen better days." To lift himself up, but pain shot through his leg and he fell back onto the ground. All the strength seemed to drain from him, leaving only a bone-deep weariness. Looking up at the clear but cloudy sky, he realized he couldn't move. He was trapped beneath the fallen beam, too weak to lift it, too proud to ask for help. "It must be replaced, and we need you to build a new one." The sun began its slow descent, painting the clouds in shades of red and gold. Just as despair threatened to consume him, a young boy appeared at the edge of the riverbank. A bridge built alone may stand, but a bridge built together stands stronger. He passed down his skills to others, learning as much as he taught, and the bridge. It still stands, not just as a path across the river, but as a reminder to the people of the village and to Raghav himself, that sometimes the greatest strength lies in our connections, our friendships, and our willingness to ask for and offer help. Others from the village arrived, drawn by the sight of the young boy by the river. They brought food and fresh wood, gathering a bit of his old strength. Raghav stood up and joined them. He didn't direct, he didn't order. He simply worked alongside the others, feeling a sense of belonging he hadn't experienced in years. Helping Aaron and the few other children lift the heavy beam. They finished the bridge in record time. It turned out stronger, wider, and more beautiful than anyone had imagined. When the village gathered to celebrate, Raghav stood before them, his voice hoarse but steady. Soon, a crowd had gathered, all working together to free Raghav from his predicament. The boy, named Arav, had often watched Raghav from a distance, his young mind filled with admiration for the old carpenter. Yet even as his body aged, he remained adamant about working alone. "Sir, are you okay?" he called out, his voice echoing in the stillness. Raghav, without turning, replied, "I'm fine." "Leave me be." But Arnav didn't leave. Instead, he quietly fetched water and, noticing Raghav's blistered hands, brought some tools. Slowly, carefully, he began to repair the damage. But just as his carpentry was renowned, so was something else about Raghav. He never asked for help. He believed in the mantra, "If you want it done right, do it yourself." Raghav sat silently, his eyes fixed on the ground, but as he watched the villagers work, a change came over him. He saw how quickly progress happened when everyone lent a hand, saw the smiles, the laughter, the sense of community. He had missed all of this, choosing instead to work in isolation. Then one day, the village chief, a man with a face as weathered as the wood Raghav carved, approached him with a serious expression. He chopped down sturdy oak trees, shaped the wood with precise cuts, and carried the planks to the riverbank, where he was slowly piecing together the framework of the bridge. His tools became dull, and his hands blistered, but he pressed on. Each evening, as the sky blazed with hues of orange and purple, he looked at his work with a mixture of pride and exhaustion. The chief continued, "It must be strong, Raghav. The entire village will depend on it." And so he set to work. Day after day he labored under the hot sun. But one afternoon, disaster struck. As Raghav was lifting a large wooden beam into place, his foot slipped on a loose stone. With a sharp crack, the beam rolled off and crashed down, landing squarely on the partially built foundation. In a moment, the structure shuddered, and Raghav, his heart sinking, watched as a part of the bridge he'd been working on for weeks crumbled into the muddy water below. Tried to move. Hours ticked by. When he saw Raghav lying beneath the beam, fear tightened his throat. One by one, at first, finally, together. "All my life," he began, "I believed asking for help was weakness. But today I learned its wisdom." From that day on, Raghav continued to teach, build, and lead, but no longer alone.